Hi, today we're going to learn how to make map-wide changes via the object spawner JSON, as well as Mapgroupproto proxies. Hi, so I'm here in Editor, and I've placed a Humvee rec at 0 orientation, so it's not turned, yaw, pitch, or roll, and I've also placed 3 skeletons inside of there. And I've also placed a shrunk down box. Those are the static objects that I've placed in there, and they're going to go across the map on both Chernerus and Livonia at all the locations that are on the map in the map groupos. But we're going to do a 2-for-1 here, because what I've also placed in here is this ammo box, which is loot and can be filled with ammo, magazines, anything that's smaller than whatever it is, 20 slots. And I've placed a UMP 45, and I've also placed the MP5. I've also placed this handy dandy little medical bag that you can stuff full of medical loot, food, whatever else you want. And those are going to be proxies. So we're going to learn how to do that really quick on the DayZ BoosterZ website. So the next thing I've got to do here is go ahead and click on File, Export to init.c, and then you're going to save it wherever you're going to want to save it. I'm just going to call this Humvee1. Too many E's, but that's okay. And click Export, and we're going to pull that up in Notepad++ here, and it's this PC, Documents, DayZ, Editor. It might be somewhere else in yours. I didn't set your computer up. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and click in the folder that I popped it in. This is it here, Humvee1.c, and this is what it looks like. So we've got this here. So what we want to definitely keep in here on everything is these human skeletons, along with the Humvee, the Off-Road 2 Abandoned 1, and we also want this down here. We want this ammo box single, because that's a static object that we're going to want to pop all over the map along with those skeletons inside the Humvee. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and copy all of this data here and take that over to the DayZ BoosterZ website. Then I'm going to click on All Converters. Then I click on Spawn Object. So this is the Spawn Object Converter. I'm going to go ahead and select Map. I'm going to paste my data in there. Now this right here, we're going to leave it 1.00. What that means is it's a 100% chance that all of these objects are going to go into there, go into the Humvee rec. So then you just want to click Generate Output, and bam, there it is. That quick, and I'm going to go ahead and download this. So I downloaded that object spawner JSON onto the server, and the next thing that we need to do is go ahead and get these proxies set up. So what I want is this Humvee spawn object, and I want to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it down here on top of all this loot so we can get the proxy set up. And then I want to copy all of that data and then go over to the DayZ BoosterZ website. Alright, so I'm going to click on All Converters. I'm going to click on Proxy Calculator, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. And then I'm going to leave it these blanks. You can type in these categories. You can type in things like your containers, your clothes, your loot dispatch, food, yada yada. But I'm going to go ahead and leave all of this stuff blank and click Submit, and just get down to the nitty gritty down here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that data and bring that back over to Notepad++. Data right there, and this information up here is for if we're setting up regular loot spawns like random loot. So we're going to go ahead and not worry about that. This is the information that we're going to want, this dispatch information. So it tells you where the ammo box goes, it tells you where the MP5 and the USG at UMP45, whatever, and the small duffel bag go. So we're going to want to go ahead and copy this data, and we're going to take this over to the Mapgroupproto. Alright, I'm going to open up my Mapgroupproto.xml, and I'm going to find that Humvee rec, which is right there, and I'm going to paste that data right here for safekeeping. Let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to cut this and bring it up to the top to paste under where it says defaults there. You guys don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it to keep things cleaner so I know where everything's at. I'm going to paste all that stuff twice. And you're like, why would you be doing that? Well, I'm going to take this dispatch that I just pasted in there out of that one, because I don't want to affect all this, because I still want these things, other stuff to spawn in here. What I'm going to do is make a custom one. So I'm going to go ahead and just name this custom. All right, and now we're going to just go ahead and take out this other stuff, and we're going to make our own little entry here into the Mapgroupproto. Because what I want is for an ammo box, an MP5, UMP45, and the small medical bag to spawn in all of the Humvee abandoned ones here. How many of those are there? Let's find out. Let's go ahead and actually copy the name here, and we'll go over to the Mapgroupprotos and count them over here. Control F, paste that in there, click count, and we can see that there is 25 of those on the map. So what I'm going to go ahead and click on is Find All in Current Document. I'm going to go ahead and paste all of that information, copy that, and open up a new tab, and I'm going to paste that in there. And so looks like it got a double copy there. Let's go ahead and take that first one off. Alright, so this is going to be all of the locations of that particular wreck. I'm going to go ahead and take that off of there. I'm going to hold, I'll go ahead and close this little tab down here. Hello, close, close. I'm going to hold Alt right here, and I'm going to go up here and clean this stuff up. And now I've got all new settings. So now what we want to do is go rename those all of those entries with the custom at the end. So all we need to do on that is go Control F, and it's going to pull all those up. I'll go ahead and click replace, and I'll paste in that stuff with the custom, replace all. Now we've got a new setting, so I can copy this and go back over to the Mapgroupprotos. And now we've got all new entries that are just going to lay on top of those other ones, but with the proxies that we want. But we're not done yet. We've got to make a few more changes to some other files. Alright, so some of the changes that we're going to need changes to the CFG limits definition. We're also going to need to go into the DB folder and open up the types. I went ahead and pasted all of the items that we're going to be spawning there at the very top, so we can start working with these. Okay, so these would have spawned in on there relatively fine as long as they were within these tiers. So as long as the wreck was in Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, the MP5 would have spawned in there. The ammo box wouldn't have, because it has a D loot right here that we're going to need to get rid of. The UMP45 would have pretty much spawned in no problem, just depending on the nominal. The duffel bag would spawn in only if it was in Tier 2 or Tier 3. So what I'm going to do is make some changes to these usage and category names. Start here. I'm going to start over here in the CFG limits definition folder. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this last entry here, and we're going to go ahead and rename that Humvee 1. And you know what? Humvee cat, just as a category, and then we're going to make another copy of the usage, the last usage here, which is historical, and we're going to rename that Humvee usage, just to be whatever. Alright, so we made these changes. So we got a Humvee usage, we've got a Humvee cat, so we're going to copy that. We're going to come over here to the types file, and we're going to want to go ahead and put the Humvee cat right there, and we'll want to go ahead and put the Humvee usage right there. Alright, So we're going to want to put these on all these. We're going to make some other changes. We've got to take this dilute off of there. All right. As far as how many that we're going to want, well, let's say there's 25 of those. So let's just go 15. And we'll leave the minimum at 0. We'll just say 15. I'm going to change the lifetime. Now, these don't need to be so high because unless you're going to be using it for, particular storage or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and change that to 7,200, which is a nice even number of seconds. And we're going to leave that like that. I'm going to go ahead and copy this stuff and go ahead and put it over the top of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it over the top of that. Just leaving the type name the same. And I'm going to go ahead and copy over that. Alright. So, next thing I'm going to do here is I want this to be loaded. So I'm going to hold Alt there and change both of those at the same time to 100. So it's going to have one whole bullet in the chamber on both the MP5 and the UMP. We're going to also have to go over here to the Mapgroupproto. Let's go ahead and we'll copy that usage tag and we'll go over to that Mapgroupproto and take the military part out and add that Humvee law or Humvee usage right there. And so what we're going to have here is right over the top of the other one, since we have the same map groupos for both in, we're going to have this spawning in, but we're also going to have in all the regular stuff that spawns in on that same rack. Alright, so here's one of the racks. We can see the two guns right there, just where they're supposed to be. We can see the medical bag is right there as well. And then over here we can see the ammo box is all happy right there. We've got some mags in there that I put in through the spawnable types and some bullets. And we see our friends are here just hanging out. And so let's take a look and see if they're everywhere here. Alright, so here we are at another location over on the coast, and we can see the two guns there again. We can see the medical bag, and over here we got the ammo box with our friends. So it looks like we're all set here. I've seen a couple of other spots and everything's in place. I did have to adjust the anomalies. I didn't notice that I put 6 as a minimum. I changed that to 0. And these files can be found on my Discord.